Hey, this is Mr. Barr, and this is the pre-test for scientific notation. So here's our first problem. Actually, let me adjust my camera a little bit. There we go. And we'll zoom in on this. All right, so how many times larger is the first number than the second number? So my first number is 8 times 10 to the third, 8 times 10 to the 12th, and 4 times 10 to the 10th. And I put big over small. So here you can see I've done big over small. And there are 12 tens on top and 10 tens on the bottom. That means there are more tens on the top. There are 2 more on the top. So here are the 2 top ones, 10 to the second. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. So this is 2 times 10 to the second. 10 to the second being 100. So 2 times 100, which is 200. Let's turn off this light. There we go. Get rid of that shadow. Our next one is a similar type of problem. How many times greater again? So I have big over small again. So I did 18 times 10 to the 8th over 1.5 times 10 to the 5th. And I have 3 extra tens on top, so this is 10 to the third. And 18 divided by 1.5 is 12, so 12 times 10 to the third. 10 to the third is 1,000, so 12 times 1,000 gives me 12,000. Write the following number in scientific notation. Well, first off, I have to find out where the decimal is. The decimal is currently right here. And where does it want to be? It wants to be almost at the front. So how many jumps is that? That would be 11 jumps to get it almost to the front. So I read it as 8.09 times 10 to the 11th. Write the following number in scientific notation. Where is the decimal? Well, it's right here at the end. Where does it want to be? Well, it wants to be almost at the front. How many jumps would that take? It would take it 6 jumps. So this is 1 times 10 to the 6th. Write the following number in standard form. What I do is I take the number 1.24 and I add 5 zeros behind it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros behind it. And then I take the decimal and I make it jump 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer is 124,000. Alright, we just finished the basic section. So here is the proficient section. I want to subtract 8.5 times 10 to the 6th minus 2.3 times 10 to the 4th. Now there are a couple different ways to do this. One way you can do it is just to expand both of these and write them both in standard form and then subtract it and put it back into the scientific notation. What I did is I went 8.5, I kind of am expanding this, times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So that's... Is it raining outside? Is that what I'm hearing? I'll keep going. Minus 2.3 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. Now, I'm just going to ignore all these 10s for the moment, and I'm going to do this subtraction. So I'm going to go 8.5 times 10 times 10, and subtract out the 2.3. And that gives me 847.7 times all these 10s that I ignored. 10, 10, 10, 10. Which gives me 8,477,000. And now I'm going to put that into scientific notation. So the decimal's here, and I'll make some jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps. So I have 8.477 times 10 to the 6th. Here's a similar one, except with addition. So I have 3.9 times 10 to the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. 9.1 times 10 to the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to ignore these guys because it's the same on both of them, and I'm going to have 9.1 times 10 times 10 plus 3.9. That gives me 913.9, and now I'm going to bring all these 10s back in, times 10 times 10 times 10, which gives me 913,900, And I'll put that into scientific notation. There's my decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. So 9.139 times 10 to the 5th. 9.139 times 10 to the 5th. How many times greater? This is number 8. How many times greater is particle A than B? So I do big over small. So here's big over small. Notice that these are going to cancel out. So I do 1/4 times 10 times 10, or 0.25 times 10 times 10, which is 25. And this next one is 2 problems in one. So I have distance from the sun to planet X and distance from the sun to planet Y. First off, I want to subtract those two numbers. So I did it down here. I went 4.6 times 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I did 4.2 times 10 to the third, 10, 10, 10. I'm going to ignore these guys for a moment. I'm going to subtract these. So 4.6 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 minus 4.2, which gives me this number right here. Then I'm going to take that number and I'm going to multiply it by 10, 10, 10. I feel like I put 10 to the 4th there. Should have been 10 to the 3rd. And in this case, it wants it in standard form, so I can just multiply that out. So 46195.8 times 10 to the 3rd. I'm using my calculator. 46195,800. So I actually have an extra 0 on this. That's fixed. Let me check with my answer key. No, okay, that's good. And now it also wants to do how many times greater or further away. So I do big over small, big over small. So I did 4.62 divided by 4.2, and that gave me 1.1 times 10 to the 4th, because I have 10 to the 7th over 10 to the 3rd. That's going to give me a 10 to the 4th. So 1.1 times 10 to the 4th is 11,000. Cool. Thank you for watching.